Hi, welcome to You Got This. This is the third video, and this video is for children, and it's talking about anxiety and understanding anxiety in our own bodies. With anxiety, we usually feel it physically in our body. It can also present in behaviorally in the way that we act or behave, and also in our thoughts and how we're thinking about things. But what we're really going to focus on today is what it feels like in our body to feel anxiety. What we want to do is often kind of start with our head and think a little bit about what anxiety feels like physically throughout our body. So, what does our head do? Does it get tight? Is it hard to think? Is it hard to make eye contact? Are we crying or have tears in our eyes? Do our ears ring or burn? Do we get a lump in our throat? A dry mouth? Our shoulders get tight? Our chest gets tight? Our heart beats faster? Our stomach aches? We get tight fists? Our legs start to tremble or shake, or we get weak in the knees, curl our toes up really tight, get a tummy ache. We usually can go through our entire body and start to realize and understand what anxiety looks like for us in our body physically. The more we're aware and able to address our anxiety right away, the more we're able to manage it and do something about it. People often wait until their anxiety is really high, and then it's a lot harder to do something to try to bring the anxiety down. So part of what we want to do is be aware of what our anxiety looks like as it's going up so we can put strategies in place before it gets too high. Anxiety generally changes as it grows. It looks a little bit different. So often we see people when their anxiety is quite low, where they're maybe biting their lip, they're fidgeting a lot, they have worry thoughts. But then if the anxiety goes a little bit higher, they're doing things a little bit different. They often spend a bit more time on social media, they can't sit still, they've got to be kind of moving a little bit more. If anxiety goes even higher, then we often see things like a tummy ache, we can't sleep, starting to get more angry, and little things are creating more anger in us. And then if anxiety goes really, really high, it can be a lot of anger, it can be crying, tears, it can look more intense. So we can see the anxiety changing as it's becoming more and more and more significant. Everyone's anxiety looks a little bit different. That's part of what makes anxiety a bit of a challenge. It's hard to know what your anxiety looks like if you're really not aware, because it can look very different from other people's anxiety. Once you're aware of what your anxiety is looking like as it's slowly becoming more and more significant or quickly becoming more and more significant, you can start to put things in place and put strategies in place by using those cues. So if you know when your tummy starts to hurt, that your anxiety is getting a little bit higher, use that as a cue to kind of say, okay, my tummy's hurting. I need to go and take a break. I need to go and read for a bit in my room. I'm going to do some breathing for a bit. I'm going to go and draw or color. You find some things that you can do that can help kind of calm you down. So the more you're aware of what your anxiety looks like, the more you can start to manage it before it gets too high. If we wait until our anxiety is really high to try to do something, we've often gotten in trouble, hurt people's feelings, damaged relationships. Plus now it's just harder to bring our anxiety back down because it's already so high. Whereas if we start to use strategies earlier on, before that anxiety gets really, really high, we can better manage it and we feel more in control of our bodies, which that alone also helps reduce anxiety. That's it for this week's video. I hope you are enjoying your summer. And remember, you got this.